how could the federal government improve its relationship with Western Canada?
That's a good question. Probably let's get on the oil thing, because that's what keeps us going, right? And yeah, they haven't listened to us for me. I'm actually from Ontario. I'm from Ottawa, and I see a big difference between here and living in Ottawa for politics. I don't think they care about the West that much. I've been here 15 years, so I'm sort of staying here. Yeah, they've got to pay attention. They've got to talk to our premiers and everything more, get some things done.
Eliminate the carbon tax, reinvigorate the gas and energy sector, and I think those two things would help.
How could it improve? I'd say just spend more time out here, understanding the needs and the wants of the people.
I think one way to improve the relationship with Western Canada is to respect the non-renewable resource sector, but not kowtow to it as well, and to honor promises made to First Nations people in the western part of the country.
Invest in Western Canada. Invest in its people. You've got millions of dollars going into Ontario, got millions of dollars going into Quebec, and it stops at the Manitoba border. So there's no buy-in from Eastern Canada at all for us.
We need a voice. That's all I'm saying, is the voice is, we're not less important than PEI, we're not less important than Nunavut. And they've got less population, so I think we probably should deserve at least a little, and the resources that we have.
I guess we need more unity to unite all the sides of Canada, because I recently moved from Ontario, and coming here 2 months ago, it does feel a little bit different. Feels like there's no unity between two sides of Canada. So I think we need to sit on a round table. We need to discuss to see what's unite us instead of what makes us different. And I guess political differences also make a big trouble for that too, because here the views and political ideas is completely different than the views on another side. So I think we need to find some middle ground in figuring out how to do it. Yeah.
I think equity. You have to be equitable to the different provinces and see their needs and what is important there, and look at all the different issues that affect each province individually.
I don't know nothing about it. I can't comment.
I'm concerned because, Western Canada's got the oil, and in light of what's happening in the Ukraine, we have always maintained that Canada can be self-sufficient. We shouldn't be relying on any other countries for anything. But having said that, it affects so much. The pipeline, the Indigenous people, it's not an easy thing.
Open communication obviously would be very important. I don't know a lot about Western policies or what's going on out west. Sorry, I couldn't really say. As a nation, I would hopefully it's always growing and always improving. So, and not just on the federal level, but on provincial levels and municipal levels as well. Right? Politics, it's tough. You have, is it more predominant PC out west and Liberal out east? So, and then you also have Quebec as well. Right, so there's always that as well, and so I really couldn't say. I don't know. To improve, open communication would be very important, but it's always hard because there's always fighting back and forth, right?
Yeah, just kind of make it a little more equal. Every kind of province should kind of hold its own a little bit more, I think.
That is a very complex question. I'm personally an advocate for greener fuels. And while I support industries that provide all of our communities with the basics, the trucking industry and such, I do believe that moving forward to better fuel practices, and that would make a huge economic difference for both sides of Canada as far as I'm concerned.
Get some more Western politicians into Ottawa. I'm not saying bring back Stephen Harper, but some more representation, maybe a few more cabinet ministers. And a couple more senators.
Very simple, get our resources to market. And if the federal government claims that they care about climate and the environment, well, climate and environment doesn't stop at our borders. And if we got our liquefied natural gas to India and China and help them come off coal, we would have a cleaner planet and we'd have prosperity in Canada, jobs for our kids, and a cleaner planet. So it's a win-win, but instead we have a lose-lose where we don't get our resources to market, and people buy their fuel from Russia, and we all see what's happened between the Ukraine and Russia. And really, the resource sector is really a gateway to democracy, and we're giving ours away right now and being dependent on countries that have terrible human rights records. So it doesn't make sense to me. I'm gobsmacked by the whole thing.